Okay, guys, I want to introduce you to Dakota the Chihuahua. This little dog loves everybody, but you know what he hates? He hates extreme risk protection orders. That's right, red flag laws. He hates them. He hates them with every fiber of his Chihuahua being. Let me turn this off here.
You don't know, but you.
Of course, they run an ad because it's a cute little Chihuahua. He wouldn't hurt a fly, and he probably doesn't know what an extreme risk protection order is, but we do. We know what extreme risk protection orders are. So I wanted to put this out here, guys, because this is vital. And if I was anywhere near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow, and I had the time off, I'd be attending this event. So I got this message from Bart Hamburg. I really appreciate you reaching out, man. And if I'm gonna do anything on this platform, I want it to be something that's gonna help people, that's gonna facilitate greater independent freedom and liberty for all of us. Okay, so Bart says, "Hey Brian, can you let everybody know that there's a gun rally to fight red flag laws in Pennsylvania and Harrisburg at the Capitol tomorrow at 1 p.m. And I don't know." I didn't check the time zones on Harrisburg, so you might want to check the time zone. If you guys are anywhere in that area, please try to make it up there. We need as many people to come out as possible. He says, "Thanks, bud. I appreciate your work." And I appreciate you, Bart, letting me know what's going on there. Here's the hold on, let me get this all situated here. This is the Facebook page of who's this the Facebook page of? Firearm Owners Against Crime. And what they're trying to do is reach out to people. It says Patriots Assemble. The Pennsylvania Senate is holding hearings on September 24th and 25th, 2019. Today's the 24th, tomorrow's the 25th, but today wasn't the day that they're requesting basically for everybody to be out there. It's tomorrow because they're going to be talking about the extreme risk protection orders. And it says the second day of hearing, Wednesday, September 25th, that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., will focus on gun issues such as extreme risk protection orders. That's the ERPOs you hear about, the red flag laws. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Universal gun registration, which is the universal background check. I'm glad they put it like that because that's exactly what HR 8 is. They call it the universal background check, but really what it is, guys, don't let anybody deceive you. This background check is a universal gun registration. Beto wants, something I appreciate about Beto, at least he's out there telling the truth. We want to confiscate your guns. We want to take your AR-15s, your AK-47s. I'd rather deal with somebody like that than somebody who's going to beat around the bush about it, You want to confiscate my weapons. You want to take my private property. You want to use government gun violence to do it, then just at least be honest about it, meatball. You know what I mean? Gun and magazine bans, etc. If you can only show up to one they're requesting, make it be on the 25th. That's tomorrow, and that's the day to do it. So let's see. Is there anything else here? Going to have some speakers here. Pennsylvania Director of Gun Owners of America, Dr. John Lott, who the Moms Demand Action is, and we're going to see some Moms Demand Action here. I'm going to call them Moms Demand Gun Violence because let's be honest with ourselves, guys. The action that they want, they're begging their political overlords to please do something to keep us safe. And I understand, guys. I understand moms demand action. They want safe kids. They want safe schools. They want safe shopping malls and all this kind of stuff. But they are caught in the cognitive dissonant garbage that we keep being fed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the propaganda box and trying to tell you that guns are the dangerous things. And so if we could just limit the guns, if we could just prohibit the guns, it'll work. We'll have a safer society, as though prohibition ever helped anything. When government gets involved in prohibition or banning, because that's what banning is, they're prohibiting something. They're prohibiting alcohol. They're prohibiting drugs. They're prohibiting guns. They're putting a ban on bump stocks. They're prohibiting people from doing certain things. And it never works out well because the free market looks at it and goes, you know what? Wow, there's a vacuum being left here. There's still a high demand for this, so we're going to fill that vacuum and go to the black market. And that's so funny about government is they call the underground market, which really operates as a free market because they're not regulated. Is it a little bit more dangerous? Could be, but like I always say, and this is not just a cliche. I hate that it sounds like it is. I'd rather have dangerous freedom than peaceful slavery any day of the week. I don't care. I don't want government regulations. I don't need a ruler. I don't need a master, and I don't think you need a ruler or master either. So they call it the black market, but it's really the unregulated free market. That's what was so good about the Silk Road and the internet before they shut it down. You could get anything. Could you get bad things too? Were there people that misused it? Of course. There are people that are going to misuse the free market, but what's the answer to that? Give somebody a monopoly on force and violence so that they can really abuse the market? So they can really give their buddies kickbacks? So they can really roll out the subsidies? That's what's dangerous about government. It's like, well, okay, why do we need government? Well, we need government because there are bad people out there. Well, if there are bad people out there, the last thing you want to do is create an entity where the bad people gravitate toward, and then they got the monopoly on force and violence, and I shall make law. You're a law abider, aren't you? If you're not a law abider, then you're a criminal and you're against me. So I'm a narcissistic psychopath. And I have all these puppets on the string, and we're going to make all these laws and make all this money and acquire all this control. If there are bad people out there, the last answer to throw down bad people is to create an environment where it just draws bad people like a magnet. And that's what government is. So I understand moms demand action is these scared mothers who probably had a bad experience in their life, or they've just been completely blitzed in their mind by the 24/7 propaganda campaign. But facts still don't care about your feelings. It's not about feelings. It's not about statistics. It's about do to others what you would want done to you. I do not demand the government initiate through force and violence any action upon you. Even if I think it's a good idea, even if I have good motives. Remember what William the Younger said, William Pitt the Younger. He said, necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. It's the argument of tyrants. It's the creed of slaves. Necessity is the plea. It's like, oh my God, we only have 11 years left, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says. We have climate change. We've got to do something, and we've got to do something now to save the planet. It's necessary that we have clean air. It's necessary that we have clean drinking water. It's necessary that we don't pollute our oceans. Necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. So what's the trade-off? What's the trade-off, AOC? Well, you got to give us a lot of your freedoms and a pretty big chunk of your money, $93 trillion, and then we can save the planet. Oh yeah, who's going to save the planet? Politicians. Well, I don't trust politicians. Well, too bad, because they're going to make the laws, and you're going to have to let us extort your money so that we can save the planet, because politicians will save the planet, Greta. Politicians are going to save the planet. The government, who's responsible for 250 million lives in the last 100 years alone, Greta, is going to save the lives that you want to save by eradicating climate change. Government is the answer to your problems. It's lunacy. It's major ignorance. And if you become enlightened and you go back to it, it's complete stupidity. It's utter insanity. It's literally straitjacket padded cell scenario. That's exactly what it is. I'm in a padded cell and I think government's the answer to our problems. We need the government to take our guns. We need the government to give us vaccinations. We need the government to spray our skies. We need the government to protect our atmosphere. We need the government to run the military-industrial complex so we can create wars in foreign lands and get a whole bunch of people killed. And oh yeah, we're out there polluting the atmosphere too, because sorry, it disconnected. I'm back on. There's no way that you can't see the hypocrisy of a government who says, let us clean your air, when they are just exploding bombs everywhere, creating havoc in the skies with chemtrails and all this garbage. And those are the ones that are going to save us and clean up our planet. Those are the ones that are going to protect the lives of our children. The ones who are going to take our guns and have a monopoly on force and violence, to where the only class of people who will have the guns are government and criminals. They're going to protect us. You're really going to trust them? It's insane. So I understand moms demand action. I know what you're trying to do. I know that you probably have good motives, but it's short-sighted to utter blindness. Utter blindness. And we can't fall for it, guys. If you get moved by your emotions and you start making decisions based on emotion, you are making a grave, grave mistake. Those who are moved by emotion and put logic and truth and morality on the shelf because emotions, because you got to save the children at all costs. And then we get into these false dichotomies where, wait a second, you love your guns more than you love children. And you're sitting over here going, no, it's not guns or children. I have guns to protect my children. I have guns to protect your children. But they're going, no, if you want if you don't want us to take your AR-15, then you hate children. And it becomes this ridiculous false dichotomy where, oh, no matter what you say on a logic base, on the plane of truth, you're completely out to lunch because they're operating on a completely different level than you are. So we got this. Let me just get back to. I really wasn't trying to get it. It just fires me up when I see this extreme risk protection order because we're going to go on some dangerous stuff that this extreme risk protection order actually does. So guys, here's where the Capitol is. I just pulled up a map for us. It's at the Pennsylvania State Capitol Complex on 501 North 3rd Street in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 17102. Guys, seriously, if you can make it, none of us is greater than all of us. And I'm not one of these guys out here who signs petitions and begs political overlords. But you know what we should do? We should all get together around the fact that nobody has the right to infringe on any of our rights. I don't care what statistics says. I don't care what this lot guy says. It really doesn't matter what the Gun Owners of America says. The bottom line, or the NRA, doesn't matter what Moms Demand Action says. It doesn't matter what the Democrats or Republicans say. The bottom line is, do you personally, let me just turn this around. Do you personally have a right to infringe on the rights of somebody else who's peaceful, who's innocent, who hasn't harmed or threatened to harm anybody? The answer is no. All you have to do is ask yourself, am I personally abiding by the golden rule right now? The golden rule being, do to others what you would want done to you, and don't do to others what you wouldn't done to you. If you wouldn't want force initiated on you, if you wouldn't want somebody grabbing you by the neck or reaching into your pocketbook, whether it's by by a third-party government or you doing it yourself, then don't do that to other people. Don't support people who do that. Don't cast your vote for somebody who's going to initiate state-funded, state-sponsored gun violence on people who haven't done anything wrong. Owners of AR-15s and AK-47s, most of them are not criminals. Most of them are not criminals. People who own guns are not criminals. Criminals who use guns for criminal actions are criminals, and those are the ones that need to be taken out ASAP. No courts, no calling 911. Goodbye. You just transgressed a transgressed a line not in the sand, but a line etched in granite. And what is that? You did something to somebody else that you would not want done to you. You're gone. You're out of here. And we're going to see to it that that happens. But guess who gets in the way of that? That's, by the way, that's called justice. When somebody does something evil to another person who doesn't deserve it and he gets taken out, that is called justice. That's justice based on truth. It's justice based on logic. It's justice that has nothing to do with emotion. It has nothing to do with special interest. You harmed this guy, for no freaking reason. This guy initiated some type of violence or force or coercion or theft or extortion against this guy, and this guy's going to pay for it now. It's not going to be tomorrow. We're not taking you to court. We're not going to do all these things. We're going to judge you righteously by the people. And that's why, well, I take that back about the court thing, because there is something to be said about, a jury of your peers. But those peers have to be reputation-based peers, people who in the society are known for holding up the standard, the principled standard of the golden rule. See, that's the thing about a principle. It doesn't move. It's not floppy like this piece of paper. It is steady like a rock. It's like the Rock of Gibraltar. It does not move. I don't care if worlds of oceans come against it. I don't care if the most torrential rains come against it, or a hurricane or a nuclear bomb. It is not moving because it's a principle and it stays. But the problem is with Moms Demand Action, they're not operating from a principled position. And I'm not just picking on Moms Demand Action. I'm going to call them what it is: Moms Demand Gun Violence. They're asking politicians to create laws to initiate violence against you and me if we don't comply with their wishes. That's what it's all about, guys. No, we're not trying to take your guns. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's why I'm thankful for Beta O'Rourke. Beta Male O'Rourke, Beta Male O'Dork, whatever you want to call him. I'm thankful for him, and I'm thankful for what he says. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15s. Hell yes, we're going to take your AK-47s. Good. I'm glad we swept away the veil of deception, and now we can deal with the shithead. I don't ever say that word, do I, babe? Usually. I'm saying it more often. I am saying it more often, and I ain't ashamed. I don't usually use those words, but this pisses me off. And I'll show you. And I'll show you. What? Did,
I can't believe it. You're
I said pisses me off, didn't I? What the heck? What's going on?
What the hell?
What the hell? What the hell? No, it's like I'm serious, guys. This is worthy. This is pissed off worthy material right here. All right, so here's let me turn this around twice because it gets blurry. So, okay, guys, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania State Capitol Complex tomorrow at 1. That's September 25th. Just to be really clear, at 1 p.m. Pennsylvania time. I don't know what that is. Like it could be 2 o'clock my time. I don't know. I don't know if they're Eastern Standard, Central Standard. I don't know. I know they're not Mountain Time, but they could be the same time zone as me. So guys, meet. Looks like Bart's going to be out there. Bart Hamburg. Say hi to Bart. He's going to be out there with a. Oh, he says I'll be wearing one of your shirts at the gun rally right here. Hey, that's cool, man. I really appreciate the support. When you get one of my shirts, it is just totally to support the uncompromising message. I am not going to compromise on this message, guys. And the message, the bottom line, if you just want to uncover all the layers, the bottom line is the golden rule. Do to others what you would want done to you. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. Here's why it pisses me off, guys. I'm just going to play this real quick. Let me see, make sure my volume's up. Listen to this newscast about moms demand gun violence. It's not moms demand action. That action right there, moms demand action. They demand. Thanks, GPA. I'll GPT. I'll get with the super chats in a second. I really appreciate it. Moms demand gun violence because that's the action that they want. They want gun violence to come upon you and me in the form of red flag, extreme risk protection orders, TAPS Act, background checks. Oh my gosh, just submit. They're telling you to submit. No thanks. Don't want to. I want to be left at peace. Leave me alone. Here we go.
Another push for gun control, and today advocates are working to make sure lawmakers hear them.
Keep standing, keep fighting, and keep demanding. Let's hear some noise for that.
I don't know if can you guys hear that okay? Keep standing, keep fighting, keep demanding is what this lady right here said. Can you hear it? I got it turned up as loud as it'll go. Somebody trolling. I don't mind the trolls. Welcome, trolls. Welcome, trolls. Moms demand gun violence. Amen, beholder. Amen. Moms demand action. Okay, good. Are we good on the sound, guys? You can't hear it. We can hear it. Okay, great. Here we go. Keep standing, keep fighting, keep demanding. Demanding that you submit to us. It's evil, guys. They may have good intentions, but the intention, it ends up in evil, in gun violence. Government-sanctioned, state-sanctioned gun violence.
Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Jesse McDonough. Lawmakers say gun reform is one of their top priorities right now in Harrisburg. CBS 21.
Lawmakers is such a joke. We've been so desensitized by that. Guys, there is it's a fable. There is no such thing as a lawmaker. Men, mortal men of flesh and blood making laws. Imagine that. There is no such thing as a lawmaker. You as a man, you as a woman, you as a child, you cannot make a law. Laws are fixed and unchangeable and stay the same in every circumstances, and it doesn't matter about the opinions of man or animals or anything. It doesn't matter. You can't make a law. You can't suspend a law. This is law. Oh my gosh, it happens every single time in the exact same way. This is incredible. A law that no man has made and no man can tamper with. You can't make laws. So I just want to start with that because there's this constant MK Ultra psychological operation always coming at you. And we tend to just, like, we hear it so much, we just shut it off, but it's in the back of our minds. And then we start actually believing, because you got to believe, because there's no fact to back it up. We start believing that Congress, the Senate and the House and people in Congress, they're lawmakers. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're opinion makers. They scribble opinions on fancy pieces of paper and they call them laws. And each one of those laws is backed by the threat of force, but they're not laws. When I say laws, I'm saying it in quotes. No such thing as a lawmaker. So just a little thing about, I'm sure it'll be a very long video if we pick every word apart. So I'll try not to do that, but I wanted to highlight that. No such thing as a lawmaker.
Joe Ducey is live at the Capitol to explain the prospects of policymakers passing any measures.
Policy. There you go. Okay, that's better. Policy. It's a policymaker.
Good afternoon.
Not a lawmaker.
200 advocates and volunteers out in full support of extreme.
Darn, I interrupted. Hold on.
In Harrisburg. CBS 21's Joe Ducey is live at the Capitol to explain the prospects of policymakers passing any measures.
Yeah, that's right, Jesse. Good afternoon. There are more than 200 advocates and volunteers out in full support of extreme protection order or red flag law legislation, and it seems to have support on both sides of the aisle.
We can save lives in Pennsylvania. They've studied it in Indiana, they've studied it in Connecticut, and it's saving lives there. It's time that we start saving lives in Pennsylvania.
Government doesn't save life, they take lives. And let's just say, let's pretend in pretend world that red flag laws or extreme risk protection orders actually save lives. The question is, does it transgress the golden rule? The answer is yes. Therefore, it's to be rejected. Why? Because on its face, it's immoral. That's what's good. That's what's so good about shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed is basically the golden rule. Don't do to others. Don't infringe on others. Infringements you wouldn't want coming to you. That's why I like the Second Amendment. It's perfectly consistent with the golden rule. That's why I like the Fourth Amendment. It's perfectly consistent with the golden rule. That's why I like the First Amendment, the freedom of religion, expression, and and press, and to say whatever you want to say as long as you're not threatening to harm or harming other people. It's perfectly in line with the golden rule. That's the beauty of shall not be infringed. It's just intrinsically true. It's inherently true for every single human being. And it's even beyond that you have the right to protect yourself. It's beyond you have the right to keep and bear arms. It's more, nobody has the right to keep you from keeping and bearing arms. That's what I like about it. I love shall not be infringed. I love those 4 words. These people hate those 4 words.
That's Representative Todd Stevens, a Republican, who introduced House Bill 1075, which would allow a judge to hear evidence and make a decision to disarm a person who's deemed to be a threat to themselves or someone else under the bill.
Yeah, that's the question. Deemed by who? Deemed by who to be a threat to themselves and others? Who's going to make the decision that a red flag order comes against me? Who's going to make the decision to implement that bench warrant or whatever happens with that red flag law? Who is in the driver's seat of controlling my destiny and steering my ship? Who is in control? That's the problem.
Following due process, a court could immediately issue a temporary emergency risk protection order.
The women came for the pizza. Who said that? Oh gosh, wait a minute. Is that it? There's like 30 women there and they all came for the pizza, said UNG 427. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. That's what I love about the comment section. You guys always put a smile on my face somehow in the midst of all this darkness. And that's what it is darkness.
For up to a year, lawmakers say it's been proven laws like this help prevent tragedies before they ever occur.
We have a tremendous problem here in Pennsylvania and across our nation, and we need to empower those closest to us to help us in that time of need. We need to empower loved ones to file an extreme risk protection order when somebody is in crisis.
Yeah, you're empowering somebody when you give them the ability to issue an extreme risk protection order against somebody who doesn't deserve it. But you know what true empowerment is based on the golden rule? Give them a firearm, show them how to use it, show them how to defend themselves against these would-be attackers. Don't tell government to save you, you save yourselves.
There's a similar bill in the Senate. The Senate Judiciary Committee will hold hearings on the matter next week. Representative Stevens says he hopes it's an opportunity for lawmakers to learn the data and essentially pass legislation. People at today's rally say they want to see a law passed this fall regarding these red flag laws. For now, reporting live outside the...
All right, I'm gonna read a couple comments here. I saw some really good comments. Yeah, the red shirts are coming. The red shirts are coming. The red shirts are coming. It's completely appropriate. They want to take away your freedoms, but they're all doing it under the guise of we got to keep people safe. We got to keep people safe and secure. Oh yeah, how are you going to keep people safe and secure? By taking away their rights. You know, if you give us more of your rights. That's why I love the Benjamin Franklin quote. Whether he said it or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who said it. I don't care if he was a Freemason or whatever. What he said was true. I'm not for Freemasonry, but I'm for what that truth symbolizes and represents, and in fact is. Those who would give away a little temporary liberty to obtain a little, I'm going to add to it, a little politically promised security, which by the way never comes. You're never more safe. You may feel safe. It's kind of like going through the TSA. The federal government's own red team tests have declared the TSA to be an utter $9 billion a year failure. 95% of guns and explosives make their way onto departing flights. Do you feel safer yet? That's why I call TSA and the Department of Homeland Security the Department of Security Theater. That's all it is. It's just there to make you feel safer. Just because you feel safe doesn't mean you're any safer than you were to begin with. In fact, if you feel safer in a more dangerous situation that you're not even aware of, you're actually in greater danger because now you've let your guard down, you've let your hair down, no pun intended, and you feel really relaxed and you are not so inclined to defend yourself when you think somebody else is on the job, the blue shirts, to protect you. So I like that. I love what you said there. So let's see. Somebody said something about, where is it? The most dangerous superstition, the belief in authority, whether church or state. That is a book. If you have not read, tell you what, get on my email list and I will send that book out again. I've sent it out again. I sent it out before. It's called The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose. I'll give you a brand new free PDF of it. Just get on my email list at highimpactflix.com. Go to the right-hand side, click subscribe, put your email stuff there. Nothing that I give you, like as far as ebooks, and I'm not charging for any of that stuff. This is an absolutely must-read book, along with a couple of Bastiat books and Lysander Spooner. If you haven't read any of those guys, excellent stuff, because it comes from the perspective and the springboard of do to others what you would want done to you. If it violates that, it is absolutely to be rejected. But the statistics say it's going to save more lives. Does it transgress? Do to others what you would have done to you? Well, yeah, kind of. Okay, I reject it. That's the principal position. That's the position that says, thus far and no further shall you come. So back to Benjamin Franklin. He said, those who would give away a little essential liberty to obtain a little promised political security deserve neither liberty nor security. You don't deserve either of them if you're going to give away your liberty. You know why? Because not only are you as an individual giving away your liberty, your freedom, you're actually setting a precedent that it's okay for other people to give away theirs too. And if they don't do it, oh my gosh, they must be morally bankrupt. It's kind of like that. Do you love guns more than kids? Well, if you love kids, you're going to let go of your guns, or you're going to let us do the gun laws. You're going to let us do the extreme risk protection orders. You're going to let us do the background checks. If you don't, you're going to let us register your weapons and make you have a federal license. If you don't, then you must hate kids, and you don't want to hate kids, do you? False dichotomy, man. They try to get you wrapped up in this psychological, emotional upheaval where you're like, oh God, I don't want society to think I hate kids. Okay, frick. Here's my AR-15. Here's my AK-47. Here's my Glock. Here's my Smith & Wesson. Take all my ammo. I love kids. See, I love kids. Okay, now you're defenseless. How are you going to protect your kids? It's lunacy. It's circular lunacy. It's like you're in the funny farm. You're in the Hall of Mirrors. You don't know which way you're going. BS, man. BS. And it's getting deep. All right. So what's wrong with red flag laws? Well, other than the fact that they transgress the golden rule, do to others what you'd want done to you, other than the fact that they request or demand that you give up your weapons, or else we're going to send armed enforcers to your house and take your private property by force, which nobody has the right to do. There's death. Death comes. Look, all I typed in up here, if you can see that, death by red flag law. It's already happened plenty of times. Now 18 frickin' states are on board with this stupid red flag thing. And the first death recorded for the red flag law is this guy named Gary Willis. If you've ever heard of him, according to police, 2 officers serving a new extreme risk protective order. Let's see, what date was this? I can't remember. November 5th. This is last year. This is not even a year ago yet. November 5th, 2018. I don't know if can you guys see that? Where are we at? Extreme risk protection order. Yeah, okay. According to police, 2 officers serving a new extreme risk protective order, red flag law. Oh, they make it sound so nice. Red flag, just red flag the bad guys. That's all that's going to happen, right? Government's in control. What could possibly go wrong? A Maryland protective order to remove guns from a household. Let's see. Police shot and killed the man listed on that order. And this sergeant says, Jacqueline David says, under the law, family, police, mental health professionals can all ask for the protective orders to remove weapons. Yeah, it's just so arbitrary. Nothing could go wrong, guys. Nobody's going to lose their freedoms. Nobody's going to lose their lives. Oh, yeah, tell that to Gary Willis. That man was identified as Gary J. Willis of the same address. Officials said Willis answered the door while holding a handgun. Why? Because they came to his door at 5 o'clock in the morning. If somebody comes to your house at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're going to protect your family if you're a sane individual and you have the means to do so. Or you're just not going to come to your door at all. Willis then placed the gun next to the door. When the officers began to serve him the order, Willis became irate and grabbed his gun. One of the officers tried to take it from Willis, which he had no right to do. Willis didn't do anything wrong. I don't care if you have a uniform, a badge, and a gun and come with the authority of the state. You have no right to violate the golden rule, which is outlined, by the way, in the Fourth Amendment. To be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects from unreasonable searches and seizures. You can't go to somebody's house and just take their stuff. But Willis fired the gun. The second officer fired a gun, striking Willis. He died at the scene. And of course, the armed intruders, the armed thugs, they get a break. Everything's okay. Here's what this lady says. Who is this? I think this is Sergeant Jacqueline David. Listen to Jacqueline. Here's how she says. Here's her recounting.
So what happened?
Okay, so our officers responded out to 103 Linwood Avenue about 5:17 this morning. They were called to serve an ERPO, which is the
5:17 in the morning, you nitwit. Why didn't you, if you were going to do it, why not go at a reasonable time? People are usually asleep at 5:17 in the morning.
emergency relief protective order. That is the quote-unquote red flag law that went into effect in October. So officers came to serve one of those orders. The respondent of that order, or the person they were trying to serve, answered the door armed with a handgun. Officers immediately told him to come with them. A fight ensued over the handgun. That handgun went off. It did not strike anybody. Our officers fired back, and the suspect has died from those injuries.
And where was the suspect shot?
I don't.
Let's just say it like it is. My officers murdered the guy. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the bottom line with this thing. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. at the Capitol steps. If you can make it at all, man, guys, it'd be awesome to have a great show of force. YouTube, force in quotes, like a show of support. How's that? A show of support. None of us is greater than all of us. And I'm talking about gathering together to tell politicians, screw you. You can make whatever laws you want. We're not obeying them. And there's more of us than you. So screw you. You can't demand that. You cannot logically and morally violate the golden rule by serving up extreme risk protection orders, or demand that we all be federally licensed, or giving us a stupid background check, or even banning a bump stock. It's not moral. It's not moral for you to ban me from conducting a peaceful activity, a voluntary transaction. Hey, I want that bump stock. I'm not sure how they work. Never heard of them, but I'd like to buy one of those bump stocks for, whatever, $29.99 or whatever. And then a third party goes, no, you can't have that bump stock. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. You can't have that bump stock. Sorry, I'm buying this bump stock. Here's my $29. Here's, give me my bump stock. And then the guy pulls a gun on you, said, I told you, you can't have that bump stock. Dude, you're being real serious about that. Yeah, give me the bump stock. Those are banned. You cannot have that. You are now a criminal in the eyes of the state because you just bought a bump stock, an inanimate object. Let's say this is let's see, where's it? Let's say this cell phone's a bump stock. So I have this inanimate object. I'm not hurting anybody with it. I'm not threatening anybody with it. I just own it. I own it because I paid money to a man who had it. He wanted my money more than he wanted his bump stock, and I wanted his bump stock more than I wanted $29.99. So it was a mutual, consensual, voluntary interaction, perfectly peaceful. But then a third party points his gun at you and says, I said those are banned. You better drop that. You are now a criminal in the eyes of the state because my politician said so. That's exactly what a law lived out is. And that's exactly what moms demand gun violence. I'm sorry, moms demand action. No, it's really gun violence. What moms demand gun violence want is a gun pointed in your face until you submit to mom's demand action demands. It says moms demand action. Moms aren't requesting action. Moms aren't asking politely, could you do this? Moms are demanding action. We demand gun violence. We demand that you go to that man's house, Gary Willis, and blow him away if he does not submit to our commands. We demand it. I mean, that's the face that we should put on moms demand action. Not only do we like pizza and ice cream and all the things that are bad for us and high carb diets and McDonald's, but we demand action. That's right. That's who we are. That's the face of moms demand gun violence. That's really what's going on. If you wipe away all the euphemisms, if you take away all the flattering speech and the neat sounding words and the little fluffy things that make the unicorns go wee wee wee, hey, isn't this the land of fun? Oh, all the soy boys are just having so much fun. Oh, you want me to be disarmed, Father Government? Sure, here's my gun. Here's my bullets. I mean, we're more disarmed than Barney Fife on Andy Griffith. Remember, he at least had a bullet in his pocket. You know, and he had a firearm that wasn't banned. They're trying to take everything away, and don't make any mistake about it. Beto doesn't just want your AR-15 scary. Think about this. It's designed to kill the most amount of people in the least amount of time. Did you see that video I did 2 videos ago where you had that fully automatic Glock with that 100-round drum and he fired 100 rounds through that Glock? It was smoking at the end, man, in 5 seconds flat. They want your handguns too, man. And this is 2016 figures. I should pull it up, but it'd take me forever, and I don't want to waste any time pulling it up. You just have to take my word for it. Look at the FBI statistics. In 2016 alone, it was 474, I think is the number. Let's just shoot it high and say 500. 500 people died because somebody used either criminally or accidentally all firearms. That includes the Ruger Mini 14, all hunting rifles, AK-47, AR-15, all the rifles. All rifles combined only constituted 500 people dying with the use of those rifles. Take handguns, on the other hand. Actually, let's go to knives first. So 500 for rifles, long rifles, including AR-15, AK-47. This is everything, all rifles. 1,700 were knives. People died because of the use of a knife. You know, misuse of a knife, or somebody, people were stabbing people. 1,700. So if it's about the lives, why aren't they going after knives? Why aren't we hearing about knife violence and knife control and moms demand action against knives? Why aren't we hearing about that? Why are they going against the 500 number? And they're mysteriously quiet. Hey, baby. They're mysteriously quiet about the 1,700. How come is that? How come is that, baby? Baby, come on. Don't leave me hanging, baby. I need liberal questions demand liberal answers, baby. What is it, baby?
Why don't they ban hammers?
Yeah, how about hammers, blunt objects, fists? Fists killed more people than rifles. Listen, 7,100 people died with the misuse or intended evil use of a handgun. 7,100. 7,100. Why aren't they going after the handguns? Because this AR-15, AK-47 is just a foot in the door, guys. They want the whole shebang, but they know they can't just grab it like that. See, the kid doesn't stick his hand in the cookie jar until mom and dad go out, you know? Oh, you guys are going to Red Lobster? Okay, how long are you guys going to be gone? Huh. And he doesn't take the whole cookie. He just kind of nibbles a couple. He takes, he has 10 cookies lined up. He goes, I'm going to get this cookie, but I don't want them to know that I took the cookie. So he nibbles around every single one of them. Okay, that looks perfectly round. And he's just, okay, now 10 cookies. Now he's eating a whole cookie's worth because he nibbled down 10 cookies and he puts them all neatly back in the cookie jar. So when mom and dad come back home, they can't tell that a cookie's gone. That's the exact same mentality of moms demand gun violence. I'm sorry, moms demand action. Gosh, what got into me by calling it moms demand gun violence? Oh, that's right, because it is. That's exactly what they're demanding. They're demanding state-sanctioned gun violence against you if you don't obey their commands and their demands. So all the cookies are back. Mom and dad come home from Red Lobster. It's like, oh, look, he obeyed us. He was a good little law-abider. You're a good little law-abider. You know that? You obey the rules. You're a good guy. If you don't obey the rules, you're a bad guy. They don't just want your long rifles. How come they're not saying anything about the Ruger Mini 14? If you look at the Ruger Mini 14, it looks like a hunting rifle with a wood stock, but it's got the same shooting characteristics, takes the same .223, as the AR-15 shoots just like it. It's a semi-auto. One trigger pull releases one bullet. Let's go over that again. It's real difficult. One trigger pull releases one bullet. One trigger pull releases one bullet. Oh, that must be called a semi-automatic rifle. Same thing with the Ruger Mini 14. Nobody's saying anything about that. Does the exact same thing, but they're not saying anything about that. There is a gun law, though, that actually itemizes all these weapons. Oh, you can't have that. Can't have that. Can't buy that. Can't sell that. Oh, you can't give that to your grandson. Can't give that to your dad. Nope, can't have that. We have to have the government involved because we know when we add the ingredient of government, we make everything all better. It's better now. Do you feel? Here's the dolly. Tell us where the government hurt you. Oh my God, where do I start? Where do I start? They want your handguns. They want your ammunition. Elizabeth Warren wants to increase the ammunition 30 times or something like that. Something crazy. They don't want you to be armed. Why? Because they want you to be subservient to the state. They want you to bow down and submit and lick the ring of the lawmakers. They want you to do the bidding of the lawmakers. And I'm crazy? Oh yeah, that Brian, he's anti-government. Oh my God, he's anti. Baby, that guy next door is anti-government. Yeah, that's sane. I'm anti the initiation of unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. What's wrong with that? Where do you begin? Where do you start? Are you saying that somebody somewhere on this planet has a higher claim over your life and property than you? If you say no, then you're anti-government too, because that's what government's all about. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, tomorrow at 1 p.m., they're meeting on the Capitol steps to stand against everything that the powers that shouldn't be are for. They are against you being armed. They're against you protecting your family. They're against shall not be infringed. They are literally for shall be infringed. They want to infringe on you, and they want to demand and impose their opinions. They call them laws, but their opinions on you. And they'll do it at the barrel of a gun. If you don't submit to them, then they will have their third-party government pull out guns on you and make sure you do it. That's how evil it is, guys. That's what this is really about. But I'm a 33rd degree Mason. What do I know? I don't know. Is the 33rd degree Mason guy back? Brian's a 33rd degree Mason, man. Oh yeah, I'm so 33rd degree. I'm 33rd degree. Yeah, that's me. All right, so this is another thing. Just saying, moms demand action, guys. I'm saying that tongue in cheek. There's some troll or a couple trolls saying that I'm a 33rd degree Mason. Accusation without substantiation is the height of ignorance. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one right here was just talking about moms demand action. Is going to be out there on the 25th. Plan on it. Oh hey, that's another thing, guys. Perception, unfortunately, perception is everything. If you guys go, I don't know, I can't remember what the law is. I don't know if you can open carry your weapons or whatever, but if you're representing, gun rights, freedom, liberty, individual liberties, you're representing liberties for moms demand gun violence too. You're actually, when you stand for your rights, you're standing for the rights of everybody. What is that saying? When injustice is done by one man anywhere, injustice is done to all men everywhere. Well, when justice is done to one man anywhere, justice is done to all men everywhere. When you're standing up for your rights, you're standing up for my rights. When I'm standing up for my rights, I'm standing up for your rights. It's for everybody. When I pull a cop over because he was speeding and say, hey, just wanted you to know you guys are being really hypocritical out here because you're speeding, and yet you turn around and give people $150, $225 tickets for doing the very same thing that you guys do all the time. When I do that to cops, I'm doing that for you and for me, and just it's about police accountability. When you see First and Second and Fourth Amendment auditors going out there, I don't like the style of some of them. I honestly don't. I think, yeah, a cop, you can call him a pig and whatever. And a lot of them act like that. But they're still, you strip away the uniform and the badge and the gun, the authority of the state, and this power tripping thing. You're trying to crack. The best ideal would not be walking away from the conversation proving that you were right. The most satisfying situation would be putting that kernel of truth into his mind with a demeanor of just, hey man, I'm just like you. I don't have any higher rights than you. You don't have your higher rights than me. And then walking away, and maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2 years, 10 years later, that seed of freedom, the brush fires of freedom in the minds of men, like Samuel Adams said, begins to germinate inside. And then all of a sudden, you got this guy looking at his badge and going, the blue line freaking, what is it? The blue line boys or whatever, it freaking sucks, man. I'm nothing but a badged armed thug for the state. I'm a revenue generator. What the hell is wrong with me? I have let authority and power tripping ways go to my head. That's it. Screw this. Rip off the uniform. I'm done. And then he becomes one of us. That's the best case scenario. So perception is everything with moms demand gun violence. Perception is everything when you're talking about law enforcement, when you're doing the First and Second and Fourth Amendment audits. Do it with I'm not even telling you what to do, but I'm just saying, doesn't it seem like it would be best if we did it with a humble demeanor that wants to really foster peace on the earth and really wants to see those seeds of truth germinate and make this world a better place? Isn't that really what we're fighting for? Hell, what if you could change the lives of 5 people in your entire... It took 50 years to do it, but you could literally change, not cosmetically, but you could deeply internally change the lives of 5 people and turn them on to one thing, the standard of the golden rule. If you could turn them on to one thing, guess what? You've utterly eliminated domestic violence, child abuse, child molestation, child pornography. You can't be an individual into child pornography when you're not going to violate the golden rule. You're not going to be a guy who's a wife beater if you're not going to violate the golden rule. You're not going to be a guy who's abusing animals. You're not going to be a guy who's begging politicians to take away gun rights of other people who haven't harmed anybody if you're not going to violate the golden rule. And it's more than like I'm talking beyond. Oh yeah, the golden rule said. Okay, what does it say again? No, it's just, hey, I wouldn't want that done to me. Ain't no way I'm doing that to somebody else. And that's just how you live your life. That's just how it is. Water is wet, fire is hot, and I don't transgress the golden rule. Quite open and shut case. What else is there? What the heck? Seriously, what else is there? I don't know anything else. I don't think you have to. Life is pretty simple when you boil it all down. That's why I can't stand euphemisms. And that's why I like Larkin Rose's quote about politics. Politics is nothing more, nothing less than the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting, and here's the key part, and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Not only are politicians so polished and good and such clever snakes and charlatans, not only did they get you to accept the chains of your own enslavement, they get you to demand it. Give me gun laws. Give me red flag laws. Brian Babin and Dan Crenshaw, give me the TAPS Act. Give me universal background checks. I want all that stuff to my ear. Disarm me. Take all my guns. Now I can't protect my family, but so what? I always got 911. And when seconds count, police are minutes away. I can live with that. I can't live with that. Because I'm going to protect my family. I don't care about 911. I don't want to call 911. I want to call 1911. I want to call 357. I want to call 38 Special. I want to call Glock 19 or Glock 22. I want to call some 45 caliber somewhere. I want to call a 223 AR. I'll call AR-15. Hey, Ethel, give me AR-15, will you? All right, got it. Oh, chambered. Whoa, how'd that happen? 30 rounds. Love that. Look at that, 30 rounds. Okay. Who's coming through the door? Because I'm a horrible shot, but I got 30 bullets in my magazine, not my clip. Clips aren't magazines, and magazines aren't clips. Your cousin is not your brother, and your brother's not your cousin. It's a magazine or it's a clip. The clip loads the magazine goes into the gun, and then the bullets, the rounds go into the chamber. Clip, magazine. All right, guys, so tomorrow, let's just turn this around. Anybody got anything to say here? Who here's in Pennsylvania? God, we lost 100 people. Brian, you know what your problem is? You ain't popular. You know you ain't popular. You ain't got a good message, man. Anybody in Pennsylvania near Harrisburg? Let me turn this around twice. Let's go back to the map. To bring this all around, there is a huge, hopefully it's huge, a a huge meeting going on at the Pennsylvania State Capitol complex where people are going to gather together against these horrible, horrible extreme risk protection murder orders. Basically, infringement orders is what they are. Background checks are infringement. South Carolina, Baltimore, Louisiana. Okay, let's just read where people are from here. Let me get caught up on the chats. Lawrence, Kansas. Shoot. What is going on with my computer? Albuquerque, New Mexico. Central Pennsylvania. Ireland. Missouri. You're just north of me. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Chicago. Mississippi. Ohio. There's a hearing on constitutional carry. 7 years in Texas. Belgium. Chattanooga. Cool. Chattanooga. I've been there. I grew up in Hermitage, which is right outside Nashville. And then went to college at MTSU in Murfreesboro. North Dakota. Not Ohio. 45 minutes from Harrisburg. Guys, if you can make it, it would mean so much to everybody who's going to be there. Michigan, Nevada, Huntsville, Illinois. Africa? Seriously? Wow. Unarmed in Brisbane. Oh, geez. Panama City, Florida. How you guys doing down there in Panama City? I'm sure there's still some major disasters that need to be cleaned up, huh? Wyoming, Colorado, Michigan, Earth. Bastille County, Louisiana. All right, guys. Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, BC, Canada, Vancouver. Smyrna, Tennessee. Is that Smyrna, Tennessee? Cool. Let's see. Somebody said, high impact fly. I'm planning to attend a town hall meeting with Congresswoman Wild of Pennsylvania, who co-sponsored an assault weapons ban. The meeting is on October 2nd in Allentown. If you want to email me, God, I'm horrible at emails, but Russia, hit me up on email and I'll see if I can do a video on that too. All right, guys. I'm gonna, let's see. Do I have something else here? Let's see. I got some Moms Demand Action stuff pulled up. Let me see. Oh, shoot. I just closed that one out. Here's the Moms Demand Action. Oh, yeah. I did want to say this. They say law enforcement continues to praise life-saving red flag laws, which empower them to empower them. Yeah, like law enforcement needs more empowerment. They already have the MRAPs. They already have the bulletproof vests. They already have all the firearms, all the ammunition that they need, the top-notch cruisers. They need empowerment, though, which empower them to temporarily seize firearms from those who pose a threat to themselves or others. You know, it's not really that. It's about people who claim that they perceive that somebody poses a threat to themselves or others. And then they're trying to down John Lott right here. So, okay, it's not Moms Demand Action. It's Moms Demand Gun Violence. And what they want to do is they want to take your firearms away. So in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, tomorrow at 1 p.m. on the Capitol steps, a bunch of people are going to get together. I'm assuming, people are going to be there early. So you're going to be in good company. Just, if you want to go there, support individual liberties, even the individual liberties of the people who are trying to create the policies which they call laws that are going to try to take your freedoms away, because that's what it's all about. It's just setting brush fires of freedom. Remember, perception is everything. So I appreciate you guys joining me. Oh yeah, wait, super chats. Sorry, I almost forgot super chats. Let me refresh the page. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Let's see. Let me refresh this, and then we'll take off. Looks like a lot of people took off anyway. Well, was it something I said? Trump is treasonous? Yes, he is. I like take the guns first, due process second. Can you, if you were going to impeach a guy, that's what you would impeach him for. I'm going to play that. I'm just going to play that. I hope you don't mind. I wrote down in words how tyrannical Trump is because he wants to take your guns. Let's see. Hope you don't mind. Let's see. Trump, take the guns first on YouTube. You don't believe he's a tyrant? If you're going to impeach somebody, don't impeach him for Russiagate. Impeach him for his playing footsies with Israel. Impeach him for something like substantial and objective that actually goes against the Constitution. Jeez. Here's your leader. You want a leader? Here's your leader. You want this leader? I don't want him. Here, you take this leader. I don't want Obama. I don't want Hillary Crawfish. I don't want Bill Crawfish. I don't want any of these losers, man. And you're a loser if you say take the guns first, due process second. You're a loser. You're against freedom. You're against the Second Amendment. You're for shall be infringed and against shall not be infringed. And you should be impeached if you go against the Second Amendment.
Yes, go ahead, Mike.
Yes, go ahead, Mike. Tell us what your anti-Second Amendment. How can you be for this guy? How can you be for that Diane Frankenstein? How can you be for this guy? They're all just a bunch of gun grabbers. Gun grabbers. I'm going to lose. You're going to lose subscribers. You keep going against Trump. He's patriotic and he's done this world a great amount of good. Oh, yeah. Okay. So go ahead. Take your gun grabber.
On the category, you spoke about the gun violence restraining orders. They're called. California actually has a version of this. And I think in your meeting with governors earlier this week, individually and as a group, we spoke about the states taking steps. But the focus is to literally give families and give local law enforcement additional tools if an individual is reported to be a potential danger to themselves or others. Allow due process so no one's rights are trampled. But
Look, he just rolled his eyes at due process. He's like, well, wait a second here. Hold on a second. Did you say due process? I'm not really for that.
ability to go to court, obtain an order, and then collect not only the firearms, but any weapons in the possession
Or
of that
might
individual.
take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system, because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of fun.
And people are like, well, he was talking about the Las Vegas shooter. He's just talking about that right there. We need to take his arms first to keep us safe. No, it's a transgression of everybody's Second Amendment when you say take the guns first, due process second. Because what if they say you're the next Las Vegas shooter? Oh, we're glad we took the guns from him. Somebody says I'm wrong on this. I'm not the one saying take the guns first, due process second. Jeff George is saying, Brian, you're wrong on this. Okay, explain that one.
To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
You heard it there first. If you support Trump, you support take the guns first, due process second. You support civil asset forfeiture. You support $10.2 million a day to Israel. You support real ID, guys. Trump is the one who got real ID passed. In my state, I won't be able to fly unless I have on my license. I don't know where my license is. Unless I have my driver's license, the real ID thing in the upper right-hand corner. Thanks, Trump. Thanks for, I thought you were against globalism. That's another step toward globalism. That's your federal Nazi papers. Thanks. Thank you, Trump. Oh, he's so for freedom. You don't understand, Brian. Trump is so for us. Really? How come Benjamin Netanyahu owns him? And he basically has him by the leash. And the New York Times, the New York Slimes of all, let out the comic that they later rescinded because, oh my God, it's anti-Semitic. It's just horrible. It was the truth, though. You got Benjamin Netanyahu holding Trump on a leash. That's exactly what it's about. And when you get a guy in there that says, I like take the guns first, due process second. I'm sorry. I thought I confused you with somebody who put your hand on the Bible, raised your hand toward heaven, and said, I will protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, private, foreign and domestic. I'm sorry. I thought you said you were going to uphold the Second Amendment. I must have been mistaken. Sorry. Yeah, Trump's patriotic. Yep. If that's the only thing, and it's not, there's a list. Steve Mnuchin is the head of the Treasury. Who is Steve Mnuchin? He's a Goldman Sachs insider Zionist banker. And yeah, I know he got rid of John Bolton, but he hired him in the first place. Could anybody be more war hawkish in the national security advisor position than John Bolton, other than if he would have hired John McCain? Are you serious? Now we got CIA insider. We lied, we cheated, we stole, and we have whole training courses on this. And you know, it reminds me of the American experience, the big fat triple chin, double cheeseburger dude who just itching to get into a war with Iran. Just throw more of our men and women in the troops at it. Just throw more money at it. You know Iran is evil. Come on, get on board with it. That's Trump's admin, guys. That's his admin. Ain't no, oh yeah, we would have been in a way more horrible situation if Hillary were president. You're completely ignorant, or you're willfully ignorant of the fact that no matter what puppet is on the hand, it's the same. Oh, there's Trump. Oh, here's Hillary. Oh yeah, it's the same hand. It's like those people with those shells in the parks. You know, okay, which shell is it under? Which shell is it under? It's all a shell game, guys. Israel's still in control. The Federal Reserve is still in the driver's seat. The IRS is still monetarily raping us. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. Thanks, Trump. Appreciate that. How many weapons can we sell to the Saudis who are completely linked with Israel? I don't know. Billions. We're going to make billions. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. And then people are like, well, you're completely wrong on this. Sorry, I'm not on the wrong side of the Constitution on this. Sorry. I know I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Super chat from, shoot, I just lost it. There was a super chat, and where did it go? Oh, here it is. Walter White, stuck at work on my 37th birthday. Thanks for the stream. Hey, happy birthday, Walter. Babe, let's sing happy birthday to Walter. Ready? Happy birthday. Come up, babe. Yeah, go ahead. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Walter White. And arm up and ammo up to you. Happy birthday, Walter White. Thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It's amazing how many people dropped out after talking about Trump, man. People don't want to hear the truth. Everybody say happy birthday to Walter White. He's one of us, man. Hopefully he's one of us. All right. Anybody want to say anything else? Trump is a chump. And what makes him a chump? It's like, it is so freeing, guys, to be detached from the left versus right paradigm. I'm not saying I'm anybody because I'm detached from that. I was deeply ingrained in that, even as a delegate for Ron Paul. I saw statism, but then I still participated in the political theater. And then I went to the state convention in Oklahoma and Norman and saw what was going on behind the scenes in the Tampa convention and in Tampa Bay. And you see that it's not the will of the people, it's the will of the elites. Romney literally lost to Ron Paul by a landslide. It's like Mitt Romney was the snowflake that fell on the mountain, and Ron Paul was the avalanche in Norman, Oklahoma. And they still gave it to him. We were like, what the hell? They drove us out into the parking lot. We became known as the Parking Lot Patriots and did something called a rump convention, if you want to look that up. They closed the curtain on us. They turned off the lights. They cut our microphones. Didn't want to hear anything that we had to say in regard to the freedom message and talking about all the things that Ron Paul can do to make this country a better place. They're going to put in, it's not an election process. I know that firsthand. If you've ever been on the inside and you're honest with yourself and you're not a partisan, you're not a donkey or an elephant, you know exactly what I'm saying is true. It's like if you're a cop and you're honest with yourself, and in the quietness and darkness of your own reflection, you can think about your police department, you can think about your actions and what you actually do with the community, and it's the exact opposite of serving and protecting. You are out there mostly harassing and collecting, especially when you're on highway patrol. You're out there looking for that broken tail light or that expired license. You're looking for that mother of three who's just barely getting by so you can just issue her a nice, juicy $250 ticket. It's completely immoral, man. It's incredible extortion. It is road piracy. And people are like, why do you hate cops so much? Oh, I don't know. Probably because I have a strong disdain for pirates who come up alongside of your ship and start just taking stuff without asking for it, against your will and without your consent. I got a real problem with that. I don't know. Call me crazy. You got long hair. You're a hippie and you probably smoke pot. You don't know what you're talking about, Brian. You ain't got a clue, boy. You don't really have to have much of a clue. You just have to go, okay, like if you were a politician, it'd be real easy. You wouldn't have to ever do anything. That's why they call Ron Paul Dr. No. The reason he couldn't sign things into law is because his moral compass said, That's going to get government involved. And anytime you sprinkle in the ingredient of government, you ruin the entire recipe. It's kind of like you put 23 ingredients into this casserole. And oh my gosh, it's tasty and it's tantalizing. And then somebody comes along and just sprinkles just a little bit. I mean, a little bit of arsenic, not much, just a little. I mean, for the most part, it's good, right? That's how people view Trump. It's like they look at it, this casserole, and Trump comes along and sprinkles a little bit of, I like take the guns first, due process second. He sprinkles in a little bit more, I like civil asset forfeiture. He talks about, I like a federalized police force. He sprinkles in a little bit of real ID, and then he sprinkles in a little Mike Pompeo and a little John Bolton and a little, we may start an Iraqi war here, and a little, I'm going to sell arms to the Saudis, and I'm in bed with, oh, turn off the lights, me and Bibi are making love. That's the deal. That's what's going on. Oh, we ain't gonna say, oh yeah, we'll make a little waves and we'll talk about auditing the Fed, but we know they bailed me out so many. They got my ass out of a monetary crisis so many times. I owe those guys. I'm in their back pocket. They have the choker chain around me. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Here's your Trump casserole. And now because we have we have the ABLs of the world, love the guy, but we have all these people like, it's not Salt and Pepper. What is it? Babe, who are those two we always call Salt and Pepper? It's Diamond and Silk, and you got all your YouTube pundits towing the line for a guy who's literally against shall not be infringed, and they're still saying Trump 2020, boy. What you're saying when you're saying Trump 2020 is you're saying civil asset forfeiture 2020. Steve Mnuchin is the Treasury Secretary, Goldman Sachs International Banking Cartel Zionist member 2020. Real ID 2020. Ain't it great, boys? We got us a burning economy. Look at your 401ks are up 34%. Turn your heads, because he's about to tell you to cough, boy, because he's going to grab you by the balls, and you're still going to lick his testicles because you love Trump. You love him so much, and you're so ingrained in the left versus right paradigm that you can't even see that he's fricking taking your Second Amendment rights away with Wayne LaPierre, who Wayne LaPierre said, if it weren't for NRA, we wouldn't have the NICS instant background check system. Well, thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Wayne, for doing the exact same thing that you said you were here for. You went ahead and infringed, didn't you? We said when the technology was available, it wouldn't be a wait. You're talking about Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton wanted to do a wait. NRA goes, we're gonna up Bill Clinton's evil. We're gonna up if you can one up Bill Clinton's immorality by adding onto the immorality the NICS instant infringement system, because that's really what it is. The Fed's you want that weapon, boy? Well, we'll just be right back. We're gonna see if the federal government will allow you to have it. Guess what? Free men don't ask for permission for anything. Thus, if they have to, they're not free men. Why am I against Trump? I don't know. Gosh, it's maybe because he's against the Second Amendment. Maybe because he's against the Second Amendment, he's also against the Fourth Amendment because he wants red flag laws. Trump wants red flag laws. That means he's against a person's right to be secure in the person's house's papers and effects. The Fourth Amendment that he said he would defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's political nonsense, guys. Well, everything's okay because I listen to Greg Gutfeld and the Five on Fox News, and they feed me everything I need to know, and they love Trump. I listen to Sean Hannity, and he can't say enough nice things about Trump. I listen to Laura Ingraham, and she can't shine Trump's boots enough with her tongue and her spit. People are so freaking oh, Donald Trump. I'm sorry. Did you walk through that dog pile? I'll lick the bottom of your shoes. I love you so much. Trump can't do any wrong. Give me a break. The bankers are going, I can't believe we did it again. We did it with the black guy the last 8 years. We did it with that other Yahoo. What was his name? George W. Bush. What a nitwit. We did it with him. We did it with Reagan. We did it with, oh my God, and Ford. And then we got Trump coming along because he's an outsider. Yeah, the outsider's going to come and change everything. And then that outsider goes, I like take the guns first, due process second. Mike, we can do everything you're talking about, but I like take the guns first, due process second. Let that sink in, man. I know I'm going to lose subscribers. It always happens. But you know what? You got to let out the truth and just let the chips fall where they may. And sometimes they fall in your eyes and it hurts. But you got to face the music, man. The most comfortable pillow you will ever own is a clear conscience, and you cannot have a clear conscience if you're towing the left versus right dog and pony show party line. You can't, because you're all wrapped up in cemented and cognitive dissonance. Messed up, man. All right. What did I say? I said I was going to go 13 minutes ago. See, you guys did it to me. Trump, President of the United States 2020 USA. After everything I said, Face of the Sun says, Trump POTUS 2020 USA, Statue of Liberty, which he's antithetical. He is the pinnacle of the antithesis of the Second Amendment, of the Fourth Amendment, and literally of the First Amendment. Hey, guys, if Trump is so for America, how come Assange is still in jail? Assange did you and me a huge favor by exposing the military-industrial complex and allowing Chelsea Manning's stuff to be broadcast on WikiLeaks. During the campaign, Trump's like, you can see the hypocrisy of Trump. You can see the sellout nature and the immoral character of Trump. Don't you love WikiLeaks? I was going to go back on Air Force One and read more of WikiLeaks, but I felt I wanted to come back out here to you after he gets elected. Hey, what do you think about Julian Assange being taken out of the consulate over there, the Ecuadorian embassy? I don't know much about it. WikiLeaks, I don't know much about it. Total denial. WikiLeaks essentially got Trump elected by slamming John Podesta and Tony Podesta and the pedo art and the pizza crap and Hillary Clinton's emails and just slamming. And for all of his work, for all of his publishing the truth, 100% accuracy record, Trump's like, I don't know, I don't really know much about that. Whereas before it was like, I love WikiLeaks. Oh, and WikiLeaks. That tells you all you need to know about Trump right there. With Julian Assange still sitting in prison and Trump has the power to pardon him, he doesn't give a damn about your First Amendment because he doesn't give a damn about Assange's First Amendment. And when injustice comes upon one man anywhere, injustice falls upon all men everywhere. And guess who's bringing the hammer down on that injustice? Donald J. Trump. Your guy. Trump 2020. Trump 2020 is Julian Assange in jail 2020. You in jail if you do what Julian Assange did 2020. I will take your weapons due process second 2020. I will initiate civil asset forfeiture on you, Trump 2020. Real IDs coming into being in Oklahoma, and it's already in play in many other states on October 1st, 2020, thanks to Donald J. Trump. Real ID. Papers, please. I need your papers. Your federal papers. Expanding the federal government. Increasing the national debt. Increasing the budget for the coffers of the military-industrial complex 2020. Higher than Obama. You were against Obama for the same things Trump doing, but now all of a sudden, because Trump's doing it, Trump 2020, baby. Trump 2020. Owen Benjamin's for Trump. I'm for Trump because I don't have a mind of my own. Owen Benjamin says he's for Trump. Steven Crowder says he's for Trump. Who are some of the other ones? Like I will call you out because I love you. Change. If you're for Trump, you are for civil asset forfeiture. Do you know how insidious that is? To be driving down the road with a large money amount of cash that you earned by the sweat of your own brow, the product of your time and laboring energies, and Trump says it's okay for a law enforcement to go if you have over $5,000, they can confiscate that. That's what civil asset forfeiture. Well, we believe you're going to engage in a drug deal. Red flag laws 2020. Trump is for red flag laws. Trump is for universal background checks. He said I can pull up all the videos. Brian, chill out, man. Trump's better than Hillary Clinton. No, he's not. No, he's not. Why isn't Hillary in jail? If Trump is better than Hillary, why isn't he in jail? Either Trump doesn't have the power, which they constantly tell us, hey, if you're the president of the United States, you're the leader of the free world. Well, if I'm leader of the free world, guess what? Not only is Hillary in jail, she gets a fast and speedy trial as a war criminal, guys. But Trump ain't going to do it. Why? Because they're in bed playing footsies together. They love each other. Mwah, I love you. Mwah, mwah. Trump is Hulk Hogan, and I know you're going to believe this. Hillary Clinton's Andre the Giant. And in front, when the lights are on you and you're sweating and you're in the middle of that ring, Andre's my enemy. Hulk Hogan's my enemy. When it's all over, they go behind the curtain, they split up the money, they have a couple beers. See you later. I'll see you next time. That's politics 101 for you. Trump's better than Hillary. Really? Really? The Crow says, your triggers are triggering me. I need a safe space. These walls are white. I hate white. Triggered. Wanted to make you laugh, brother. It is funny. Your triggers are triggering me. I appreciate the super chat, man. Thanks for the support. I know that was gross. I got drainage, man. I'm just fired up about Trump. Trump 2020, man. And what kills me is the Republicans and conservatives that talk about the brain dead Democrats and how they're intertwined in cognitive dissonance and how they can't see the nose on their face and how they're against the Second Amendment. Oh, all these liberals, oh, you're liberal snowflake and safe spaces and you want red flag laws. Trump wants red flag laws. He's just a Democrat. He's always been a Democrat. But you like him now because he says he's a Republican. You like Dan Crenshaw because he speaks nice and he's got a patch over his eye and he's an ex-Navy SEAL. But he wants to take your guns too. Not only does he want extreme risk protection order, he wants the TAPS Act. That's the Threat Assessment Protection and Safety Act, which is literally Minority Report pre-crime. You don't even have to have committed a crime. We just think that someday you might in the future commit a crime and, wow, sorry, we got to take you in for evaluation, take all your guns, and we may give them back, but probably not. Thanks, Dan Crenshaw. You Republican, you. It makes all the difference in the world. Yes, you too can be a Republican. We'll take away your Second Amendment rights. We'll take away your Fourth Amendment rights, but we're going to start with your First Amendment rights, and you won't think nothing about it because I'm a conservative. I'm coming at you as a Republican, so you ain't going to do anything to me because I'm wearing red. The other guys, the blue team, you hate them, and that works really good in our favor. Really good for us. I know, I'm extending this thing, man. You guys okay? You want me to keep going? 474, it went from 233. What was it, like 513? It's a psychological operation. Yeah, exactly right. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to keep going. If you want me to shut my mouth, just, I'll heed your word. It ain't no problem. It just pisses me off, man. I'm sitting here in Oklahoma, trying to be free. Mad Max says, thanks for telling it the way it really is. Keep up the great work you do. Hey, man. Mad Max, I don't even know what to say. That's pretty humbling. You guys, and Ernst Weil, thanks for the super chats. Really appreciate it. Was surprising to see you at Gay Frog Chat. Yeah, I tried to say something on there, but I didn't see anybody chatting, and people were telling stories, and I was kind of pressed for time, and I had to do some other things. But yeah, it was interesting the stories they were telling. Maybe we'll do a story night one night here. Reed George, what is it? Okay, wow, that's a lot of thumbs up. Join Gunner. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you said that. Your mom, MAHM. If you're a part of the NRA, you got to know. Here, I'm just going to pull it up. You have to know that Wayne LaPierre, not everything that fake stream, MSLSD, Communist News Network, Counterfeit News Network says is false. Matter of fact, they'll say things true so that you can disbelieve the truth. And that's really, as far as I'm concerned, that's the effectiveness of 24/7 mainstream media propaganda. Let me just pull this up. The effectiveness of 24/7 mainstream media propaganda is, hold on, let me save my changes here because I just put up that last video and then I had something up, so I gotta clear something out of my. Oh, there it goes. Import. Let me just type Wayne LaPierre in here. Wayne LaPierre. What a loser, man. There's so many people, and what pisses me off about this is that I know a lot of people who they really have their heart in the right place. They really want to change this world for the better, But this constant 24/7 psychological operation, this literal, they don't call it television programming for nothing. I know I say that all the time, but it's true. They're literally being programmed into thinking that what they're doing is right when it's literally diametrically opposed to the very golden rule that moral people uphold as a principle in life. You know what I mean? So when the Communist News Network, Counterfeit News Network, MSLSD, ABC Always Broadcasting Crash, CNN, whatever, Fox News, whenever they come out with something that actually tells the truth, like I saw Rachel Maddow just completely slamming the NRA. She was right. That doesn't mean, I mean, like if I just put out a video saying, you know, Rachel Maddow was right about this, and I didn't put any qualifiers, because I got to be real careful to put a qualifier so that nobody comes along and goes, whoa, Brian likes Rachel Maddow. He's a proponent of MSLSD. He loves them. Just because they're tripping doesn't mean he's against. I'm against Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes and MSLSD and Jake Tapper on CNN and Brian Stelter, because they're all a bunch of corporate shills trying to lead America down the tubes at a breakneck speed. And here's Brian Stelter greasing the side so we can even go faster down the tube, into the fire, into the razor blades. That's what I can't stand about it. I can't stand it. Let's see. Truth about background. Yeah, it's the name of this thing is, the name of this NRA deal is called Truth About Background Checks. And I'm glad your mom mentioned that to me, MAHM, I think. I'm clicked off of it now, but I'm going to put this up on the big screen so you can see it. And I know I've played it before, but it really bears repeating. I've not seen a no compromise gun lobby like Gun Owners of America. Just haven't seen it. And NRA is not for gun rights, guys. If you're 1 ounce, it's back to that casserole. If you got this whole casserole that says it's against gun rights, but you sprinkle in just a little bit of infringement, you're completely against gun rights. Completely. It is all or nothing. This is a cafeteria plan. I'll take the peas and carrots of gun rights, and I will just leave the rotten broccoli to fester in the sunlight. I don't want anything coming against shall not be infringed on my plate. No way. I want the freedom plate. I want the freedom Happy Meal. That's going to make me happy. And the prize that I get, oh, look at that. It's the same prize I got last time, and I love it. Shall not be infringed. Love it. You sprinkle anything in contrary to that, it completely adulterates the entire thing. So let me just, time for compromise is OVER. It's over. Let's see. Why isn't that dragon? Oh, there it is. All right. Here's Wayne LaPierre. Here's why you shouldn't be for. If you're for the Second Amendment, you are not for the National Rifle Association. You are not. Here, I'm going to go close to it. I got to cue it up to where he says, I mean, there's plenty of stuff wrong in this, but I want to, and the insidious thing about it is they weave in truth in with error, which makes the deception that much more deceptive. All right, here we go. What is the best kept secret?
The best kept secret is that the nationalistic check system wouldn't exist at all if it weren't for the NRA. It's true. Back in the 90s, President Clinton forced passage of a mandatory waiting period on every handgun purchased in America. Not a background check, but wait. But NRA said as soon as the technology was available, their wait.
Yeah, I agree with you, Big Leo. Big Leo says, it's hilarious that people are against national registration and then register with the NRA. I think, Big Leo, I think what happens is, people make decisions in ignorance. There's a lot of, and I'm not calling these people stupid. You can be ignorant of a lot of things and not be stupid. You know what I mean? Like I'm ignorant. I'm like, I wouldn't say you're stupid because you don't understand auto mechanics, but you know how to drive a car. You know what I mean? It's just because we're ignorant of think about the millions upon billions of things we're truly ignorant on in this life. But stupidity is knowing what's right. Here's stupidity and immorality all rolled up into one. Knowing that which is right and then doing the exact opposite. So I do agree with you to an extent. It's funny and it's sad all at the same time, Big Lou. I'm sorry, I called you Big Leo. I my other glasses, I need a higher power. That people are against national registration and then register with the NRA. Yeah, NRA brought about, and this is what Wayne LaPierre is admitting here, brought about the NICS instant background check system. Any background check system, I don't care what the good sounding argument is for it, I don't care what the good motive is for it. It is literally an infringement check. That's what it is.
Had to be replaced by an instant background check done by the dealer at the point of sale. NRA supported it, NRA got the votes, and NRA got it passed. We demanded an honest system that was supposed to make sure.
Yeah, an honest system. A background check system that is an infringement check system is not an honest system. It's actually a dishonest system because it's a system that literally goes against the Second Amendment. So I got another super chat I'm going to deal with here. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the support. What time is it? 9:24. Everybody hanging in there. Hey, RTR Truth Media is in the house. RTR Truth Media. Tom from RTR Truth Media. Let's see. I saw a super chat. Where is it? Oh, William Wallace. Thank you, William Wallace. What movie was that? William Wallace. What is that, babe? With the
Braveheart with Mel Gibson?
what is it called? Braveheart. Yeah. That was actually a good movie if I remember. It's been years ago. We need more people like you spreading a revolutionary message. We can't keep playing the rigged game anymore. It's true. But, you know, I tried in 2012 to change things on the inside with Ron Paul. Ron Paul admitted that he ran to get the freedom message out. He knew he didn't have a snowball's chance in hell to becoming president, but he did know that the message of freedom and true prosperity and end the Fed and end the domestic terror cell known as the IRS was something, a seed that you can sow in the minds of morally based people, principled people. So I can't participate in the system any longer. It's a corrupt system from top to bottom being run by corrupt people, and you don't change the beast from within. You have to starve it. And the only way to starve the beast, well, how do they get their money? How does the beast get its lifeblood from the people? Through extortion, known as taxation. The only way you can defeat the beast is to starve it. And guys, we can starve the beast. There are way more of us than there are of them, but that's why it's so insidious with the 24/7 propaganda campaign of CNN and Fox News and MSLSD and all these people go through there because they got to keep us distracted, deceived, and divided, because if we ever unite against the bankers, it's game over. It's lights out. It's the final inning. They ain't getting back up from it. But they keep us distracted, deceived, and divided. They get Reverend Al Sharpton on there talking about how that was racially motivated, and they get motivated, and they get April Ryan on there going, "Oh my God, can you believe that white guy did that black guy? Oh, and it's the white cops are against the black people, so there's all this racism and white supremacy going on, and they got the whites against the blacks, the Democrats against the Republicans, the women against the men, the feminists against the environment. I don't know, maybe the feminists and environmentalists are against each other, but liberals and conservatives, it's mostly left versus right paradigm dog and pony show. And the reason I'm against it is because it keeps us divided. And the reason I have my channel is to bring us all together on one thing and one thing only: the golden rule. That's it. If you adhere to the golden rule, do not do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. Don't and conversely, don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. You won't be a Republican, because Republicans want a leader, a ruler to initiate. They want Trump to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. Democrats want a leader, a ruler to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. The only difference between Candace Owens and Rachel Maddow is that they're in a different ditch on the same street, heading in the same direction. And that direction is vastly immoral. Yeah, Candace Owens may sound better because she's got better arguments and they're closer to the truth, but it's just like that casserole or this water bottle. I'm a dying man in the desert. A gallon of water weighs 8.34 pounds. If I put a half an ounce, which isn't even hardly a fraction of 8.34 pounds, into this water bottle of cyanide, I'm dead. We need freedom. Freedom is without adulterant, guys. Do you want adulterated water? Do you want an adulterated casserole? Or do you want 100% pure water that's not going to kill you when you drink it? Or a casserole that's not going to kill you when you eat it? That's the same thing with freedom. You don't truly have freedom unless you have freedom. I mean, there's only freedom And then there's slavery. There are those who think they're free, but they're really slaves. And what is that saying? None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they're free. And in a lot of ways, guys, and you can make a very strong argument for Candace Owens is more in bondage than Anderson Cooper. Well, maybe not Anderson Cooper because he's literally a paid shill, which I don't know if Candace Owens is a paid shill or not. She definitely shills for Israel a lot. She's involved in Turning Point USA and Zionist propaganda of Prager University. So maybe she is a paid shill. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and call her a paid shill because I don't know for sure. But I do know one thing: she comes against the principle of don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. You're calling on Candace Owens, yeah, because she's for Trump and Trump's against the Second Amendment. Therefore, she's against freedom. It's very easy, guys. If you guys are for, I just played the tape. I just played Trump's own line. I like take the guns first. Due process second. Anti-Second Amendment. If you're for Trump, you're against the Second Amendment, and you're basically the enemy of freedom. You're the enemy of free men everywhere. Bottom line. Changed my mind. Changed my mind. It's like Steven Crowder when he goes out and goes, socialism is evil. Changed my mind. Steven Crowder's absolutely right. Socialism is evil. Why is socialism evil? Why is communism evil? I don't care about the dictionary definitions of socialism and communism. All I care about is they're both evil. How do we know socialism and communism is evil? We know socialism and communism is evil because they go against the golden rule. They do to others what they wouldn't want done to themselves. They believe it's okay to initiate unjust force and violence of peaceful people in order to bring about their communistic, socialistic, Marxist ideals. And it's immoral and it's wrong. So the foundation of socialism, communism, is Marxism rests on a violation of the golden rule. Why am I against Donald Trump? Because his I like take the guns first, due process second, violates the golden rule. His stance on civil asset forfeiture violates the golden rule. His appointment of Steve Mnuchin as a Treasury Secretary, who's a Goldman Sachs International Zionist banker, violates the golden rule. And I could go on and on. His beefing up of the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower warned us about violates the golden rule. His increase of the transgenerational debt slavery of the national debt, which now is over $120-something trillion if you count unfunded liability, his violation of that is a violation of the golden rule. His selling armaments and weaponry to the Saudis, which is basically you're selling them to Israel. His giving of $10.2 million a day just above board, it's way more than that, but that violates the golden rule. His failure to eradicate the Federal Reserve violates the golden rule. His failure to rescue us from the domestic terror cell known as the IRS violates the golden rule. What makes him different than Hillary Clinton then? Nothing. They both are violators of the golden rule. Therefore, they're in the same pot together from the perspective of individual liberties. Like if freedom were glasses and you put them on, you would see Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton as just a different puppet on the same hand. But they're both in bed together with the same exact agenda. Well, Trump's against globalism because he says he is. No, he's not. It's a globalist agenda to take your guns and due process second. It's a globalist agenda for civil asset forfeiture. It's a globalist agenda to have a Zionist international banking cartel insider in as the head of the Treasury Department. It's for globalism to have Mike Pompeo as the Treasury Secretary. It's all for globalism. I'm against globalism. No, I'm not. God, man. It's plain as the nose on your face. So if you have, God, what's the two black girls' names, babe? Not Salt and Pepper? Diamond and Silk. So if Diamond and Silk and Anthony Brian Logan and Candace Owens and Steven Crowder and Owen Benjamin and all these people are for Trump, they're for somebody who's against the golden rule. It's empirical. It's objective. It's observable. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to slander anybody. You don't have to use ad hominems. You just stand on, do to others what you would want done to you. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. If you violate that, you're not the friend of truth. And that is even That's the overarching important thing. If you're an enemy of truth, if you're an enemy of freedom, if you're an enemy of individual rights, you are an enemy of the people you claim to protect and serve. That's why it's so hypocritical. And you're literally, if you're for that, you're against all law enforcement. Or you hate law enforcement. Mike the cop, I had him on. He would not answer. You are literally an enforcer of the politician's commands. You're an order follower. If you're an order follower, you can't be a moral person because you're too busy following orders. You're not using your mind. You know, and I'm not saying in some instances they don't. Like a cop will pull you over and go, you know, you're doing 55 in that 35-mile back there. I'm just going to give you a warning. You know, oh, great. Thanks, officer. You didn't have an authority to take my money anyway, because nobody does. They come off acting like they're good guys, and they're really, just because they let you off. And just because you're thankful about it doesn't make what they just tried to do to you or imply that they could do to you moral. It's absolutely immoral. If you don't have the right to do it, and I don't have a right to do it, then they can't do it because they were sprinkled with some kind of legislative magic. Believe my magic. I have the ability to make laws. Oh, okay, we believe you. So that's why I call the state as a religion. It is the most dangerous religion, and as Larkin Rose says, it's a superstition because it's all built on lies. You just have to believe it. What are you? Oh, I'm a senator. I can make a law saying that you can't drink whiskey. And if you do, you're automatically a criminal. See that magic? Did you see that? It's like, no, I didn't see it. I thought you were a human being and no. You don't understand. I'm a senator or I'm a congressman or I'm a president and I can make a law and see that? You're a criminal now because you got alcohol and I told you couldn't have alcohol. It's 11:59 and prohibition goes into effect in 1 minute, buddy. If you have that alcohol in your hand or you're buying or you're selling or you're drinking or you're trading or you're moonshining, you become a criminal because I said you were. It's all about belief and faith. It's not rooted in reality. It's magic. It's pixie dust. That's literally what it is. It's unicorns pooping soft serve dessert. And people licking it and enjoying it. Oh, isn't statism great? I love it. I love it. What plantation are you on? Oh, I'm on the blue plantation. What plantation are you on? I'm on the red plantation. Isn't it great? Yes, we love it. We love our leaders. We bow down to them and we kiss their rings. And they can do no wrong. Yeah, so what if Trump... Hey, Trump 2020, who cares if he's against the Second Amendment that I say I'm for? That makes you a hypocrite. If you're for Trump, then you're against the Second Amendment. Just suck it up, buttercup. What my granny always said. She goes, Brian, I'm sorry, life's hard. Life's real hard. You're going to have to suck it up, buttercup. Little frail woman. She had more balls than any kind of soy boy beta male ever had. Ever. In their lives. More testosterone in that little granny than you could shake a stick at. I'll tell you that, boy. Unicorn pooping. All right. I saw a... God, man. You guys just fire me up, man. I'm fired up. Mad Max says, everyone that hasn't seen Braveheart needs to see it. And everyone, I want to watch, babe, let's watch Braveheart tonight. When was the last time you saw it? I was like a kid or something. You saw it a bunch of times? Yes. I guess you're going to fall asleep then. Yeah. That's so funny when me and Trish put a movie on, like we're so... It's not even enjoyable because she's like, that's such bad acting. And like, I won't see it initially. She'll go, God, that's a good actor. That's a horrible actor. Like, would she read her lines on the back of a cereal box or something? And it's like, God, come to think of it. Yeah, that is very bad acting. And not only that, what kind of agenda are they trying to shove down our throats? It's like, did you see that part? Did you see the real subtle part? And I don't care if you're gay or straight, but don't try to inject your crap into an Avengers movie. Did you see Endgame where Captain America's sitting there after the half of the people have been destroyed and he's out around that circle counseling and the guy goes, went out on a date last night, and Captain America's like, yeah, how did it go? And he doesn't even act like a gay guy. Well, I cried over dessert and he cried over the salad. So his date was another guy. It's like, oh, why'd you have to do that, man? What the heck? Why do you have to slip those stupid agendas in there, dude? Why can't it? Geez, what's up with that? They have to appeal to the gay people. Yeah, everyone that hasn't seen Braveheart needs to see it, says Mad Max. Thanks for the super chat, man. Huh? What did I say? It sounded like you said brain fart. Brain fart. Everybody who hasn't seen Braveheart needs to see it and enunciate everything they say hereafter. And everyone or Trisha will get onto you. Thanks, Grammar Police. Thanks, Grammar Police. And everyone that has needs to see it again. Freedom, yeah. Yeah, exactly. What? Wait. What did I just see? Face of the sun in the face of everything that Trump is for, which equals completely against the Constitution. We'll just talk about the Bill of Rights here because I'm not for everything in the Constitution. Congress does not have power to lay and collect taxes, guys. I don't care if Ben Franklin said it, Samuel Adams. I don't care. They were smoking weed or something. They're like, hey Ben, pass the DMT. Let's write this one down. Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes. Let's see if they'll accept that one. Yeah, if they were on DMT, they wouldn't write that. Never done it. I wouldn't know. Joe Rogan, DMT. Vote Trump 2020. How can you say vote Trump 2020? It's like, what the heck? Do I suggest total anarchy? Well, think about it. What is Craft Beer says, do I suggest total anarchy? Well, I don't suggest partial anarchy. Guys, anarchy has this connotation of chaos, mayhem, blood in the streets, broken windows, burning cars in the background. Oh my God, black Antifa, anarchy. That's not anarchy, guys. Anarchy literally, etymologically, just means without rulers, basically without masters, no rulers. That's all anarchy means. It does not mean chaos, upheaval, disorder. It just means no masters, no rulers. So yeah, I'm 100% against rulers. I don't need a ruler in my life. And if you don't need a ruler in your life, if you think you can get up tomorrow and pick the kind of toothpaste you want and put on the kind of clothes you want and go to the job you want, spend the money you want on the things that you want, then you're 100% anarchy too. Let's put it this way. If you're just honest with yourself, you're either an anarchist where you believe nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you, where you believe it's not right, it's completely immoral to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. Either you believe that or you're a statist. If you believe this, you can't be a statist. If you believe this, you can't vote for Trump. If you believe that nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you can't be a Democrat or Republican. You can't. You just wouldn't get involved in it. Because it violates a principle, the principle of reality. Nobody has that right. Nobody has that authority. And for somebody to think that they do is delusional. Changed my mind. Where am I wrong? I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let's all get a woman's opinion. Yeah, it's literally the definition of magic. And and once you taste anarchist, you can't go back. You're not going to violate somebody else's rights. You're not going to hurt somebody. You're not going to steal from them. You're not going to coerce them. Because why? Only for one reason only. Not because it's written in a book somewhere. Not because you wrote it down on your paper and you memorized your lines. It's because it's written in your heart that you wouldn't want that done to you. You wouldn't want your mom's purse to be snatched. You wouldn't want your brothers to be victims of a drive-by. You don't want your dad to be broken in on at 2:00 in the morning with a gun pointed in his face. Then don't do that to somebody else. And if you would do that to somebody else, then you deserve to be eliminated. Justice. I don't spew many scriptures, but one thing I remember from memorizing scripture, and there's a lot of good principles in there. And it's not because they're not good principles because they're in the Bible. You can find some good things in the Bhagavad Gita. You can look at the Hindu Sanskrit, or maybe there's some good things in the Quran. If you've never read the Quran, don't speak about the Quran. I can talk about the Quran. I've read it a couple times. I know what it says. I've seen the breakdown. It's like it doesn't make you an expert, but you do know what it says, and you can't deny what it says. So one of the verses, I think it's Ecclesiastes 8:11. It says, and this is a rough paraphrase from my memory because I haven't seen it in years. It says, When justice against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men are fully set in them to do evil. So if you got that thug who comes in on your dad at 2 o'clock in the morning, points a gun in your face, pulls the trigger, and blows your dad's head away, or steals your mom's purse, or trips your granny at the bus stop, swift execution of justice right there. That will show the thugs of society who have no moral compass that you don't get away with that, and we're not going to tie you up in court. We're not going to put you in our jail cells and extract tax money from the sheep and give you 3 hots and a cots and have you last very long. A just society is a swift acting society that brings down justice on those who deserve justice. Period. Change my mind. If I'm making points that aren't rooted in logic and morality and truth, I want to know about it, because I don't want to keep on going. Stop using. Okay, so I want to talk about that. I'm glad you said that, Jonathan 123. This is nothing. If I go like this, I don't care if the Satanists do it. They co-opted the rainbow. That doesn't mean, if I had a rainbow over my head, doesn't mean I'm gay. It's like, yes, symbols are for the symbol-minded. It's like, I can use this. I can do the peace sign. Mine is, hey, man, peace. Much peace to you and yours. Or A-OK, whatever. I'm not a Satanist. Sorry, that's not 666 to me. It may be 666 to somebody else, not 666 to me. It's like, stop doing that. You're giving the Satanist power. It's like, sorry, I don't believe in magic. I don't believe in religious magic. I don't believe in state-funded magic, and I definitely don't believe in government magic. So it's like, I don't know. I disagree with that. No reason to use it. It's like, if you were into sign language, that literally means A-OK. I taught my I think this is T. I taught my kids to we did sign language before they could talk, to potty train them. This just meant, for us, it meant potty. You want to go potty? And they would be like, oh yeah, that's, oh, you understand me. That's so cool. And we can't talk and, potty. Yeah. To me, that's not 666. It doesn't matter. I mean, I understand the symbolism of like the rock stars who are constantly using this, and they're deliberately using the Masonic checkerboard, and they got the black stuff on their eyes. They're intending that to be like subliminal satanic or whatever. I don't believe in Satan. Satan doesn't exist to me. So like there is no proof that there's a Satan. There's proof that there's evil men who do evil things. I don't see a proof for Satan. I'm going to lose a lot of people on that, because I think there's a lot of people who are religious who take that stuff seriously. But if anybody asked you to believe, just take my word for it, or take my book's word for it, or take my holy man's word for it. Hey, believe the Catholic Church, believe the Baptist Church, believe the Presbyterian Church, believe the Quran. Hey, you need to be a Muslim. You need to bow down 5 times. Sorry, why? Why should I do that? Because that's our tradition. Okay, that's not my tradition. I don't believe it. Then you're going to hell. You're going to go to hell, boy. Okay, can you prove that? Well, no. Why do you believe it? Because I just believe, because it's in the Bible. I believe that why do you believe you're going to get 72 virgins upon death if you strap a bomb to yourself and blow up 100 people in a subway station? Because Muhammad told me. Oh, really? Did you hear Muhammad say it? And even if he did, how do you know it's true? It's just, it's like, do you believe in magic in a young girl's eyes? Nope, I don't. Sorry, I don't believe in magic. I don't. Religion is mind control. Statism is mind control. And people go, Christianity is not religion. Christianity is a relationship with Jesus. Based on what? Based on what? Based on belief. Even though your own Bible says it's the evidence of things of hope. Let's see, what is it? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You don't see it, but you believe it. Christianity is a belief. Islam is a belief. Hinduism is a belief. All the other religions are about the spaghetti monster is a belief. No, really, there's a spaghetti monster in the sky, and the only reason we have carbohydrates is because he brings his noodles down every now and then. You just have to believe us. That would sound crazy to you. Well, that sounds just as crazy as, that guy entered a fish and the fish spit him out and then he preached the message, or all these animals got up on the ark and that snake talked to that person and he ate the apple and all his sin. And it's like listening to a bunch of children go, no, really, just believe me because my book is better than your book. Be Muslim or you will suffer the fires of Allah. Allah will not think too kindly. Well, guess what? All you Christians are atheists in regard to from the perspective of Allah. If you don't believe in Allah, you're you're a practical atheist. And they're atheists to you because they're believing in what you would call a false God. So basically, we're in a school, back in a schoolyard with kids going, my God's bigger than your God. My God can beat up your God. Oh, no, he is not. My God has the holy book called the Quran. Well, my God has the 27 books of the New Testament and the 39 books of the Old Testament. Moses handed down, then there was Abraham. Oh, yeah, well, my God has Muhammad as a prophet. And Jesus was a prophet too, but he wasn't the son of God. It's like, okay, my fairy tale is better than yours. No, I serve the spaghetti ant monster. I serve the Transformers. The Transformers came from the planet Zarkon, and the planet Zarkon is where you go when you die. Really, I can you prove that? Well, my holy book says it, but that's not proof. It's guys wrote down stuff, and you just chose to believe it. And it's where you were born. If you were born in India, you probably wouldn't be a Christian. If you were born in Iraq, you probably wouldn't be a Christian. That's how it goes. You know what your family taught you. I grew up as a Catholic. I disavow that. I was an altar boy. I was heavily into Roman Catholicism. We are our scout troop. Hey, wow! I haven't thought of this in a long time, babe. Troop 451, South Bend, Indiana. Troop 451. They probably are still in South Bend, Indiana, in the basement of Christ the King Church in South Bend, Indiana, on US 31. That's where I grew up. I was an altar boy in that church for years and years and years. Never got molested by a priest. Thank goodness. Did smoke a couple cigars. Did drink, a lot of the blood of Christ. And the wafers weren't bad either. It was, there were perks. There were benefits. And we got to check out all the good-looking chicks that came up to take the Eucharist. I mean, that was something for us altar boys. You had the little pan. Babe, there was this little pan that altar boys had on the stick. And when the priest put the thing on the tongue, or it went to, you could put it in the hand, and they, you gotta catch the crumbs of Jesus. You don't want the crumbs of Jesus to hit the floor, And it's all this stuff that you were taught, that you realize, gosh, the only reason I believe that is because I chose to believe it. And then we have wars. Or what do you mean you're not Catholic and you're Baptist? And then there's wars in between. What do you mean you're going to marry him? He's a Catholic. What do you mean you're going to marry her? She's a Presbyterian. What do you mean? What do you mean you're going to circumcise your child? It's just all this crazy stuff, man. And then you got what's that? Sandra Botox. What's her name, babe? Sandra. Botox? Yeah. What's her name? Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock gets on Ellen and says that she uses this cream that is derived from penis foreskins of young children. And she goes, that's my secret of keeping young. Penis, and everybody's laughing about it. It's like, do you realize how ridiculous that is and how perverted that sounds? You use the foreskins of baby penises and spread it on your face? You've got to be kidding me. Oh, wow. I don't even, you guys know what I'm talking about. Sandra Botox, Bullocks, whatever. Whoever. This is another Illuminati sock puppet trying to get you to believe that Bird Box is real. Put on your blindfolds. Please try to speak to God yourself. Even just praying to ask if he's real can open your eyes. A movie that I recommend that exposes Satan and his... See, but you have to prove that exists. And there is no proof that it... And you have to admit that there's no proof that it... Well, you'll see when you die. Yeah, you will too. Because you hadn't seen it yet. No, really, I've seen Jesus. I've had visions. Man, I've been to so many churches. I've been to Pentecostal, Presbyterian, Baptist. I started out Catholic, Assemblies of God, Church of God of Prophecy, Independent, Belmont Church in Nashville. I don't know if that's still around, but it was called non-denominational. It's just all a bunch of, are you Jewish? Are you Christian? Are you Catholic? And then they categorize you and put you in this little box. And you start getting judged, and you're judged based on face of the sun is still pushing Trump, man. Cognitive dissonance is real. Anyway, all right. So I didn't mean to get off on that. I really didn't. It wasn't my intention. So wrapping this all up. Let's see, just so I can get this right. Rally in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow at 1:00. Red Flag Extreme Risk Protection Order rally. If you guys can make it, that'd be so awesome. Show each other support. None of us is greater than all of it, all of us. Guys, I really appreciate the super chats. Thanks for all the support. I was thinking about making a church. Oh my God. I was thinking about making a shirt that said, because let me show you the Moms Demand Action logo. Moms Demand Action. Where's their logo? Oh, shoot. Where is it? Moms Demand Action logo. All right. Actually, there's a couple versions of this logo. I was thinking about, this is the one that I'm familiar with, but I guess that's a variant of it. But I was thinking about making a shirt that says Moms Demand Gun Violence or Government Gun Violence, but I wanted to keep it short. But I was going to do like a little play on that. And maybe next time because man, you talk about a conversation starter. One of the reasons I make the shirts I do is because I want to start conversations. One of the best ways you can put the brush fire of freedom, the seed of freedom in people is to have them walk up to you and go like this shirt right here, different animal, same shit. And it's got the donkey and the Republican elephant, the Democratic donkey and the Republican elephant. It's a different animal, but you're getting the same shit. You don't know it. You think it's different because you're conservative or you're liberal, but it's the same stuff. You still are subjected to the same banker garbage, the same thing. And it's all objective. You can see it. It's above board. So when people come up and ask me about this shirt, this gives me an opportunity to plant the seed and show them the truth of the left versus right paradigm lie. Same with the, Black Guns Matter or Blue Lives Murder. It's all just a door opener to a conversation. And all you got to do is be a seed planter. You don't have to stay around and hoe the garden or anything like that. You don't have to try to convince anybody of anything. You're just in the field, just throwing out seeds. Some will germinate. A lot of them won't. But it's so rewarding, man. That's why I make these shirts anyway. And it kind of keeps our operation going. And Trish likes to eat a lot, so it keeps food on the table and the lights on. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Remember, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance and indifference to this notion. And a lot of people have been indifferent and complacent. Indifference to this notion is the means by which the people will and have secured their own oppression. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Make it a great day tomorrow, not only for yourselves, but for everybody in your zone of influence. And don't forget, if you're in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, meet on the Capitol steps with a whole bunch of other just freedom lovers at 1 p.m. I appreciate you guys. Take care.